Welcome back to Houston Life. Okay, so here is something to think about. Over 90% of jobs available today require digital skills, yet nearly 1/3 of workers here in the US lack opportunities to build these skills. This digital divide exists right here in our own backyard, and Comcast wants to help close the divide. Here to chat more about some really valuable free Digital Navigator programs they are making available to help Houstonians build or learn valuable digital skills is Comcast's Broderick Johnson. Broderick, welcome to Houston Live.
It's great to be here.
It's so good to have you here.
Great topic.
It is such a, I mean, it's shocking to think that 1 in 10 homes in the greater Houston area are without internet, they're without computer. I mean, how does this happen?
That's a lot of people. And we've been talking about the digital divide for decades, and we've been working on these issues for decades. But there's still several barriers to the digital divide, several very important things, some of which we're already starting to make great progress in. First, let me talk about connectivity. There are many people, especially in rural Texas, who don't have access to the internet because there are not connections available yet. But Comcast is now working with the state of Texas to bring broadband to those areas in rural Texas. So that there's a solution that's happening. The second is affordability. Quite frankly, there are a lot of people who think they can't afford the internet. They're trying to balance different expenses, trying to make ends meet, groceries, rent. So internet connections, using money to pay for the internet is a luxury in many people's minds. But there's help on the way there too. There's something called the Affordable Connectivity Program, which essentially gives people a voucher so they can get free access to the internet through Internet Essentials, which is a Comcast product, for example. So access and affordability, there's help on the way. The third reason, though, really has to do with the people not appreciating the power of the internet, not understanding what difference it can make in their own lives. But there's help on the way there, too, with regard to Digital Navigators programs, and that's what I'd love to talk to you about.
Oh my gosh, okay, this is exciting, because I think we take for granted, especially if you're younger and you've always had computers in front of you, but it can be difficult to work those things, to navigate digitally. Tell us about the Digital Navigator courses that you have through SERJobs.
Yeah, so it can be intimidating, certainly for many people, and when we talk about Digital Navigators programs, these are organizations, maybe it's volunteers, maybe it's people who are paid staff, or a combination, people who are trusted in their communities to go out and talk to people who perhaps are intimidated by the internet, or they're not aware that the internet's available to them through the ACP program, or they don't know how to use the internet. So here in Houston, there are 2 pilot projects that we started here at Comcast several months ago, working with community-based organizations. First is through SERJobs and the Houston Mayor's Office. It's a program that we are working in 4 communities here in the city of Houston to help people get digital skills training, to help them find devices, to help them get connected to the internet. It's a $150,000 pilot project that we've invested in. We've already affected 150 households with training for people in those households to learn how to use the internet and to make them aware of the Affordable Connectivity Program. The second great project that we have here involves Goodwill. And it's where we are working with Goodwill and with people who live in Veritas apartment complexes here in Houston, going out and helping people in those apartment complexes develop digital skills training. And there we're affecting over 1,400 families that live in those locations. So there's help on the way.
That is amazing, you know, that's really good that you can provide access to people. I mean, how is it changing people's lives? You've got some tangible examples that you've seen. Yeah,
there's nothing that's more inspiring for me as I go across the country, and here in Houston, a couple of examples of people that I've already had the opportunity to learn about or meet. For example, there's a gentleman by the name of Kenneth. It's Kenneth's first name, and Kenneth was a mechanic, and he got injured, so he couldn't continue to do that job. But through the SERJobs program, Kenneth is working with the Digital Navigator, who is helping him learn basic technology skills, basic skills training in digital type opportunities that would be available to him. So that's just a great example of someone's life being changed.
Wow.
Another person by the name of Joe, Ms. Joe, that's her last name, and Ms. Joe, senior citizen, she faces a number of health difficulties. Her Digital Navigator, though, is helping her with things like telehealth appointments, or being able to actually have virtual sessions with her doctor. It's saving her a lot of stress, certainly, and also a lot of commuting time.
Wow.
Those are just two great examples of what's happening here in Houston.
Digital Navigator programs are really opening the world for so many people and making it easier, you know. These things that we think are, you know, a necessity, and for some people they're a luxury, but it's amazing.
It's a necessity.
It is.
Really
Well, it is. And it shouldn't be a luxury for some people. So it's amazing. This is so great. Digital Navigator courses are unreal. They're free.
They're free.
So thank you guys so much for getting on board and making these happen with your community
We care so
partners.
much about the community.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Well, you know what? If you want to find out more about Comcast's effort to shrink the digital divide, you can jump on to ComcastTexas.com. And if you would like a completely free of charge Digital Navigators course, call SERJobs at 713-773-6000. Fantastic. And go and live a digital life. Sending it back to you, Derek.
All right, Mel, thank you so much.